And me thinking, like, it's fucking 9 o'clock at night. What the fuck is Master Chief doing here? And, God, can I walk straight? Like, just fucking walk straight. And why are we going to talk to the skipper? Like this? Like, does he know I'm fucking drunk? Like, all these things are, like, playing out in my mind as he's taking me from downstairs to upstairs. And maintainers don't go upstairs unless we're in trouble.
Hey guys, it's Donnie here, and I just want to let you know that we've recently launched a content development company, and this company helps people get social content. You know you need to put out a lot of content nowadays to get engagement out there in all your social platforms. Well, we've come up with a really cool way to help you get videos, blog posts, memes, social posters, and infographics for whatever social site you need. So check us out at successchamps.us and learn more about how you can get social content for your social media.
Support for this podcast comes from Point Blank Safety Services and Blue Family Fund. Point Blank Safety Services does safety differently. We know everyone is on a journey, and we want to make sure you get where you're going safely. Professional, trained, ready. There's really no comparison. Here's why hiring Point Blank Safety for your next project will make all the difference and save you huge amounts of stress and hassle. Point Blank Safety Services provides certified, uniformed police officers for a full suite of armed guard services. Don't leave the safety of your project to chance. If you're ready to make sure safety truly comes first for your next project, then visit us at pointblanksafety.com.
You're listening to Donnie Success Champions, where I believe everybody is on a journey. Life is all about the stories you can tell and teach later. You're going to hear the stories of people who have overcome hardships, failures in life to find success along their journey. All right, guys, this is going to be a fun episode. I'm bringing in another one of my veteran buddies, Terry Maynard, and we've already been joking the entire time before we get on, so I'm sure there's going to be some laughs. He also gave me a challenge, guys. If I can actually make him cry on the show, that he'll send me one of his prize coins that he loves, and you'll hear more about that as we go later on. I'm your host, Donnie Boivin. This is Donnie Success Champions. Terry, welcome to the show, my friend. Please tell us your story.
Hey, thanks for having me, Donnie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
If you can make me cry, that Playboy bunny up there, that's all yours. Easy day. My wife hates it anyway, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've been through some pretty cool things throughout your life and done some pretty cool things. It was just the Navy. I won't hold that against you too much. At least thank you for serving, even if it was the Navy. But walk us through a little bit. Some of the things that you've done, some of the things you've done over your ride. I know you recently retired and things along those lines. So walk us through it a little bit.
I joined the Navy straight out of high school. One of those cats that were I didn't really have anything else to do. We were a family that lived on a farm in California. So my dad was a diesel mechanic on the ranch. And it was either keep hoeing weeds, which is what he made me do in the summer, or find something really cool to do. And so it was right outside of Lemoore, California. And Lemoore, for everybody who doesn't know, is a huge Navy town. So I just joined the service so that I could work on planes at home. And so they tucked me in as an aircraft electrician's mate. I tried to become a corpsman, which is, a doc for everybody else. And I cut too high of a test on the ASVAB. They're like, look, you're too smart to fix people, but you're just smart enough to fix planes. So when I came back and I told everybody, I was like, hey, they're going to make me an aircraft electrician. So in the Navy, right, you only have to cut like a 44 to be a corpsman, right? But you got to cut like a 70 or above to be an AE. So there's less people that cut high to work on planes, right? So when I'm telling everybody this at home, like I'm going to be an electrician, my dad, my brother, everyone, they're like you're borderline retarded. There's no way that you're going to fix planes. We were worried about you sticking people with a needle. There's no way in hell, you're going to, is the plane going to pull over in the middle of its flight and be like, hey, man, we got to change this tire. Terry screwed this shit up. Like, that shit just doesn't happen. They made a mistake, you know? And so, like the whole, I don't know, 9 months from the time that I depped into the service to the time I actually left for the service, oh, man, the whole time they're just ragging me out. Like,
oh, I'm sure. It sounds like your family's very similar to mine.
Oh, man. And my dad's a mechanic. So growing up, like, I would ask him questions. Be like, all right, hey, so you're cleaning out this carburetor. I'm like, well, why are you cleaning it out? And he's like, well, it's dirty. I'm like, well, why is it dirty? He's like, well, shit got in it. Like, are you stupid? Like, shit got in it. It's dirty. Like, well, why'd shit get in it? And it would be like the third why before he would throw a tool at me.
Well, like, I'm sure he's like, Terry, just go change out the freaking blinker fluid for me, all right?
Yeah, right. No shit. Like, go find this. Or, hey, there's this old car down the road, and here's the screwdriver. Go take every fucking screw out of it. That's all I need to do. You know, and I'd be gone for hours, you know?
Look what I found. I actually got all the screws.
Right? So that was the direction that we went until I joined the service. Like, that was it for mechanical stuff. I could take shit apart. I could break it.
Right.
But I had never, ever attempted to put anything back together. And so I joined the Navy. I was an electrician. I finished second to top of my class. And the first person picked orders to go to Lemoore. And the next person was me. And I was like, oh, there's another set of orders. I'm going to Lemoore. Lemoore, California was where I'm from.
All right.
So that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to get back to Lemoore, be around my family. And they're like now there's this orders to Brunswick, and you need to go to Brunswick. Like, you're a good fit. You're going to go to Brunswick. And I'm like, look, you told me we get to pick by how we did in class. Like, I studied hard. I did a good job. I'm only a little bit of a shitbag. Like, I get to go to Brunswick or to Lemoore. And he's like, no. Maynard, yep, you're going to Brunswick. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Why the hell did I try so hard?
Yeah, like I could have fucking gone to Brunswick if I'd have been last in the class. Like, what the fuck is up with this shit? And so I get to Brunswick, and it is the greatest place on the fucking planet, besides the fact that it's Maine. You know, so there's like two things you can do there. You can drink, but I'm only 17.
Nice.
I think I was 16 at the time. Or you can like whore around, because that's it. You're in Brunswick, Maine.
So that's like Jacksonville, North Carolina. I mean, that's where I ended up, you know, same thing. Signed up the Marine Corps. I'm going to travel the world, see everything, as long as it's in North Carolina.
Right. Like, I played pool, and like the shining point of all of this was like, man, this is badass. There's Brunswick pool tables. I'm going to Brunswick, Maine. Maybe I can meet the guy who fucking makes these damn pool tables. And then I get up there, and they don't even fucking make fucking Brunswick pool tables in Brunswick, Maine. There's just nothing. I'm like, fuck.
There's cold. There's that. It's balls cold.
Bro, it's so fucking cold that when you cut your hand, it doesn't bleed until you come back inside. Like, I have never been so fucking cold in my life. Oh.
Wow.
So we go up there. It is a fucking blast. I don't know how it is in the Marine Corps, but looking back in the Navy and talking to other people, it's always like that first tour is like that. It's either the worst thing on the planet, or it is, oh my God, this is heaven. Why the fuck am I ever leaving this place?
Oh, see, this was the worst thing in the world. I mean, I only did 4 years and got the hell out, but it was bouts of sobriety mixed with fights and people yelling and telling me where to be for 4 freaking years. I mean, you know, that was, I was not the guy that could figure out how to shut my mouth and keep my head down. Nah, dude, I had to be up in the freaking middle of it all. And, you know, I mean, to give you an idea, I got to E4, okay? Here's how I got pinned on corporal. A staff sergeant who was just off the drill field. I mean, this dude fucking hated me. He walked up to me, threw a set of chevrons at me, and said, "You're now a fucking corporal." No ceremony. I'm like, all right, cool. And then they tried to tell me to command my drinking buddies. Yeah, it didn't go well.
Oh, man.
So.
Now we had like the best group of people in Brunswick with us. So like in the Navy, you have your rate, right? So I'm an AE, and so you're in your shop as an AE, and that core group of people that I had when I was an airman in E3 and E4, like, fuck, we're still lifelong friends. Most of those guys were groomsmen at my fucking wedding and my next tour, and fuck, over half of them were at my retirement, 6 months ago. It's just there was just a cool core group of guys. And they really made the Arctic tundra of just shit that is Brunswick fun and enjoyable. I mean, we did stupid shit. We fucking drove to Portland and did crazy, just dumb shit. But we were always together. Nobody ever really did anything to the point where we were going to go to jail. I mean, for my 21st birthday when we were there, they fired up like 26 shots of alcohol, 2 big-ass pitchers of beer. But the important thing was everybody made me drink this strawberry daiquiri at the beginning of the night because that was the first thing I was going to taste, and everyone wanted to make sure that was the last thing I was going to taste at the night.
So when you paint the bathroom red later.
Oh, no. It was the Corolla. As we rolled through the gates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like, why'd you wake me up? You should just give him my ID.
Yeah.
So Brunswick was... Oh, it was shitty, but the people were so great that it was awesome. Man, yeah, Brunswick was a good time. We went on deployments there. We had people get robbed, go to Amsterdam, get fucking totally robbed and rolled, all their shit stolen. Man, looking back on it, that was like just the way to fucking go. Just a dumbass airman getting fucking trashed and having a good time.
That's awesome. So, you did what, full 20?
I did 21.
What, 20 wasn't good enough? You wanted to get that one for just showing the fuck up, or?
So, to be completely honest, I would have stayed more. My wife's father got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and we got out for that. We were going to stay as long as we could because, I mean, let's face it, a senior chief, I'm making $8,000 a month. My job ain't $8,000 hard.
Right.
It's come and go, not as you please, but there's, 4 people on the command that are really going to give you shit if you're not at work. And it's really up to your own integrity of how much you're going to put effort in. Now, me personally, I'm at work 8 to 10 hours a day regardless, because you're working with the sailors and trying to make them better and make that impact. And I enjoyed it. Like, I really, truly enjoyed it. But we have a flourishing business. And when we stood back and looked at it, if we were staying in, it was ego. It wasn't anything else. I'm not going to make more money for my retirement that's going to justify not giving the kids time with their grandparents.
Right.
So yeah, we were going to stay another 3, 4, 5 years. I didn't have to get out till 26, and then they just changed it so I didn't have to get out to 28.
Nice. So where'd you guys end up? Where's home?
So now we're in Crozet, Virginia.
Okay. And that's where her dad is as well?
Yeah, so her dad's in Charlottesville, so it's right up the road, about 20 minutes.
Okay. How cool is it that you've been able to do a ride of, give our country 21 years and be able to give an opportunity for your kids to spend some quality time? Because, not a lot of people can pull that off. I mean, if you wouldn't have joined the Navy, you think this scenario would have played out the same way?
So, no. Like we joked about it before. So we have 2 distinct families in our line right here. So my wife's family's the Brady Bunch. I love them to death, but every one of them could be a member on the Brady Bunch TV show. They are near perfect. I mean, they have China. So when
I love that that's your definition of perfect.
Well, all right. So when people come over, like, oh, do we use the good dishes or the regular dishes? Like, I didn't grow up with regular dishes. It was like, hey, just grab the mix match crap and let's get this thing rolling.
Right.
Like that was life, Whereas on my family, I love my family. There's nothing wrong with my family, but we are not the Brady Bunch. And I still have all my teeth. And had I joined the Navy, I would not have all my teeth. I would be skinny. Don't get me wrong. Fresno is the meth capital of the world, and I'd be a skinny motherfucker. That would be the direction my life would have taken. Most of my cousins and family have gone down that road. You know, most of my family on that side of the fence has spent time in jail for something. So, yeah, the Navy has absolutely given me a way to not only better myself, but also provide, you know, some sort of legacy from my family to move forward. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful.
What was that day like when you're 21, you're in formation, they're handing you your orders, and you realize that this chapter of your life is over and it's now to create that second level? What was that day like?
Oh, man. It was ridiculous. We did it on Memorial Day. Is it Memorial Day? Labor Day. May 25th. I don't remember which weekend it is. It's one of those two. And so before I went up there to do my speech, you know, for retirement, my buddy's like, he's my master of ceremonies, my guest speaker, been my friend forever. He's like, look, when you get up there and talk, you need to look at Ashley first and tell her thank you. Because if not, you're going to look at everybody else and be like, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm good, I'm out. And you're never going to thank your wife. So you need to make damn sure you thank her first. Or she's going to beat your ass when you get home.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, okay. So I thank her, and then I'm talking, and I didn't write anything down. I just kind of off the cuff, and we were just rocking. And I'm like, you know, I'm really going to miss the fact that, you know, the Navy's like, I mean, it's really like having a second wife, because when you get mad at the first one, you just go spend more time with the second one. And I'm like, and I look around and like all the guys are like, yeah, that is exactly what the fuck happens. And all the wives are like, did he really just fucking say that? And I look over at Phil and he's like, fucking Terry, man. Like, you can't say that shit. And then I look up at Ashley and she's like, you're an asshole. I'm thinking like, fuck. I don't have another wife to spend time with anymore.
Oh, that's got to be one of the best retirement speeches I've heard.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
Way to nail that one, and way to do such a bad job that nobody else can get beyond that, I don't think.
No. And it's perfect. But it is.
I think it was probably the crown of explaining your Navy experience, right? You know, you went in being you came out a better version of you, you know, through the process. And if you wouldn't have done something, because that's, you know, I didn't get the whole retirement ceremony. I got by, you know, that was when I got out, you know, so, but, good on you for going out Terry style. You know, that's a cool way to get out the door.
That is one way to say it. Absolutely.
Well, look, I mean, I get it, dude. I get in certain circles, I get introduced to like this. It's like, hey, before you meet Donnie, let me tell you. Right. So I get it. Right. So when did you start your company that you're doing now?
So we started it. Well, there's really two ways to look at it, right? So we started our company officially in October of 2016, right? But we did it like unofficially about a year before that. So a year before that, I was making challenge coins just one at a time, and I was selling them on the pages, and I was just kind of, I'd sell a coin, make $2K, and take my family to Disney for the month. You know, I mean, living in Jacksonville, Orlando's only a 3-hour trek. And, you know, we would go to Disney once a month, every month, you know, for the year. And then the next year we did the same thing. And it was the best way to try and kind of reconnect as a family. We came from VQ3, which is a kind of a landlocked base. It's Tacoma. And so it's a place where you don't deploy, you don't go anywhere crazy, you're not leaving your family for any long periods of time, but I couldn't tell you on Friday if I was going to work Saturday and Sunday. And for me, I was still working 12 to 14 hours a day, and there were days that when I was running nights that I would, as a chief, I would high five the duty section Saturday morning, routinely. You know, so it was not a place that we could have a life as a family. We we couldn't. Ashley was doing everything on her own, being mom, being dad, doing all of the homework. And all I was really doing was work, and it really wasn't, fair.
I got to tell you, the spouses of military guys, especially the ones that have the balls to stick the whole ride through with them, are badasses. My sister-in-law did 24 years with my brother, and he was in the right service, the Marine Corps. I did almost all 24 years with him. Dude, that gal needs a fucking medal. And what she said for her is when he was here, she loved him. When he was away, she loved him. But when he was away and came back home, she had to retrain him again every fucking time. Because she took over the bills, the house, the maintenance, the everything. And when he'd come back, he'd want those roles and would disrupt her processes.
It's true. And it sucks, because, most of us who spend a long time in the service, we're not a little bitch. Like, we don't want to just hand stuff off. We want to be in control.
Right.
We've been in the service for so long that we're not like a youngster. We're not, some young kid who's used to having everything else done for them. We don't want to hand things over. We want to drive the bus. And so giving that control over to somebody else is really hard. And then when you're gone, you don't have a choice. Like, you kind of have to just give it up and accept it, and then force everything to a smaller portion in your mind and move with the mission in hand and focus. And it makes our job easier when we're away, because I don't have to worry about what's going on at home, because Ashley's amazing and she handles the shit when I'm not there. But then when I come home, it's like, hey, you were great, but it's my turn again. Get to the back of the bus, and it's not the right thing to do, but it's kind of the attitude that most of us have. And I think that's where a lot of the stress and the relationship rifts come from, is trying to reestablish, those roles when we come back in. And I think that's why a lot of the military services have all those classes and stuff for, reintroducing roles or whatever they call them when they come back.
Yeah. I didn't even know those classes exist, but I'm glad they do, because, wow. My brother and I were stationed pretty close. I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina. He was in Beaufort, South Carolina. So for, 96ers, 4-day weekends, I'd always go down to his place, because only a 5-hour drive. And, I got to experience their young years of their marriage together, and I still bust their chops about it. I mean, dude, they were not the Brady Bunch, man. They were at each other's throats, and, and it was that constant, they were growing up together, trying to figure out their way in life, and it was wild. So props. So now you're doing this challenge coin thing. For my people who don't know, they're non-military, what the hell is a challenge coin?
So it's kind of like it's basically like a token, right? So think of it as like an attaboy in metal, like you did this badass job, and we want to show your appreciation, but I'm not just going to like shake your hand and be like, yo, that's pimp. We want to give you something cool that you can remember us by, kind of thing. And essentially that's what a challenge coin is. Now, over the years, they've been really dumbed down, and they've just been kind of like paperweights is what they've kind of transpired to. Everyone and their mom has these very simple, just round quarters as challenge coins. And so what we have done is we have, kind of stopped that evolution of dumbing down this token of appreciation and made it into something where it's more of an emotional connection. Like, I want you, when I give you my challenge coin, to know why I made it the way I did and what it means to me. Because then you understand why I gave it to you. And then every time you look at it, you're like, fuck, not only is this dude who made this a bad motherfucker, he thinks I'm a bad motherfucker too, or he wouldn't have given me this piece of shit. This is badass. That's what we're trying to do. So, like, for my retirement challenge coin is not like most people's coin. On one side of it, it's me, right? It's got the AE wings. It's got a skull behind the wings. It says, AECS Terry Maynard, my dates of service. And it says, if you want to make a difference in life, listen, lead, and show up. That's all you got to do. And then it's got a little joke about other rates. It says 110 plus 110 equals 220, which in the Navy, it's just codes and crap, basically saying that mechanics are stupid and AEs are smart. Really the way it works out. So, and if you know me, it makes perfect sense. You're like, wow, like you put that shit on a coin. That's fucking crazy. So, but on the back side of the coin is where it actually ties everything together. So my dad passed on my third deployment in the Navy, and I was in Sicily. And I already kind of hit off that when you're in Brunswick, you just drink a lot. Like, that's all you fucking do. So we were in Sicily, and to say I was housed is an understatement. We went through 3 pitchers of margaritas when the sun came up. And when we made margaritas then, it was tequila, triple sec, and Everclear. And I don't really remember too much about the day. I remember being drunk at work, sitting on the couch, and having our maintenance master chief, which is the second most senior enlisted person in the command, come into work and get me. And me thinking, like, it's fucking 9 o'clock at night. What the fuck is Master Chief doing here? And God, can I walk straight? Like, just fucking walk straight. And why are we going to talk to the skipper? Like this, like, does he know I'm fucking drunk? Like, all these things are like playing out in my mind as he's taking me from downstairs to upstairs. And maintainers don't go upstairs unless we're in trouble. So what the fuck is going on? Which one of these assholes ratted me out that I'm still drunk? Like, all these things are playing in my mind as I'm going upstairs. And so we get to the skipper's office, and the skipper's like, hey, do you know why I'm here? And the first thing out of in my mind is like, I'm not telling you I'm drunk. Like, I've played this game before. I'm not telling you a goddamn thing. I'm like, no, sir, I'm not sure why you have me here in the office. I don't have anything going on, sir. What's up? And he's like, okay, it didn't really seem like you understood why we were here. And I'm like, I am fucked. This dude's crucify me. And then he hands me a Red Cross message saying that my father had passed. And I'm reading it, and I'm looking at him, and I'm reading it. And I'm like, is this a fucking joke? Like, this shit doesn't fucking happen. What the fuck is going on? So my dad's young, he's 42. Like, this doesn't fucking make any sense. Okay. I'm like, well, I don't really know what to do. I don't know what the next steps here. I'm just third class. I've only been in the Navy 3 years. And my chief's like, okay, so Petty Officer Maynard, we're going to, we'll get you set up. We'll get you everything taken care of to get you back stateside. In the next couple of days, you'll go home, get a hold of your mom. She can't get a hold of you. Give her a call. And I'm like, okay, I'll give her a call and, we'll work it out. So that all transpired in like 35 minutes, right? And so from the squadron to the barracks in Sicily is about a 10-minute walk. And while that was going on, my division chief and my LPO, my E6, they had been walking up and down the barracks passing the hat around, and they had raised like $5,000 for me to give to my mom so that when I got home, I could give her all this money. I mean, we're poor. We lived in a trailer on the farm. My dad was a mechanic. It was amazing. And so the back of my challenge coin is a 3D image of my dad. Mm-hmm. And it has his name, and it says, my dad didn't teach me how to live. He just lived and let me watch him do it. And so for me, like, that is what a challenge coin is supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to, tell somebody, like, about your coin, give them that coin, and then watch them understand, like, a true meaning behind your coin. So when we work with people, that's what we do. People may give us a design and we're like, oh, that's, yeah, man, we're not doing that shit. Let's sit down and talk, and let's figure out what we really need to put on your coin to make it something that actually means something to you, not just something that we can, rock out in 5 minutes and move on.
What's cool about that is every time you hand somebody a coin, your coin, you're damn near giving a piece of your heart saying, hey, this is my story. This is my journey. This is how I got here. I respect you that fucking much that, I'm giving you a piece of me. That's a gut punch, to put that out there.
A little bit. Yeah. Do I get something if I make you cry?
Oh, no, you won't. Damn it, I'm going to get my freaking coin. Fucker threw humor at me. I can't get it all the way. So, but no, dude, that's really, really freaking cool. I mean, I never did the challenge coin thing when I was in. I didn't even hear about challenge coins it really wasn't until I was out of the Marine Corps and that this challenge coin popped up. And the way I was introduced to it was, somebody walked up to the bar, they threw down their challenge coin. If you didn't have one, you bought drinks, right? So that's all I knew about it. So I didn't think about it until 3, maybe 4 years ago. I was a part of a group that launched this big nonprofit in our hometown of Fort Worth, Texas called the Cowtown Warriors Ball. And they were looking for a speaker for the event, and I had connections to General Pittman. If you want to read about one of the most American badasses, 2 seconds. General Pittman in 1971 in New Orleans, there was a sniper on a building. He wasn't a general at the time, of course, but he commandeered a civilian helicopter and flew the snipers up onto this freaking helicopter so they could shoot out and kill this freaking sniper up on top of this building. He didn't ask. He didn't anything. He stole a helicopter and put snipers in it and flew up like 3 or 4 times when this guy was on top of the building kicking open a maintenance door and shooting at the helicopter while the service, snipers were shooting back at him. And he did that like 4 or 5 times. I mean, this guy's fucking ridiculous, right? So I had a connection to him, and he came and was our speaker at this event, General Pittman. And amazing job. Since I, helped get him to the event, the night he's after the event and he's leaving, he reaches out and shakes my hand, and that's when I felt this big ass freaking coin in my pocket, or in my hand. And I look, and he said, I'm really thankful that you helped me get this opportunity. And you look down and of course, it was General Pittman on one side, had 2 stars on the other side. And I still have that coin. Now, this event had coins made as well. Okay. Right. They had no emotional connection for me whatsoever. They were just the coins of the event. Right. But freaking General Pittman's, saying thank you, that coin meant a freaking ton. And it was just really, really, really cool to know that that was his way. And it was the first time I kind of understood what these challenge coins really, really, really are. So I really appreciate the fact that you've put a little heart and soul, if you will, in putting these things together. I wish you could have found a better business partner because I've, talked to Chuck and, he's Chuck.
I mean, so in that respect, that's why Chuck designed shirts.
Chuck, you're welcome. I can't wait till you listen to this episode. So now you guys are, producing challenge coins for companies and helping them put really motion behind their brand, their image, their everything else. But I can't imagine that many companies are raising their hands and going, hey, I need a challenge coin. So how are you building a successful business out of all this?
So we don't just market to companies. We market to Navy commands and Navy people, as well as Army and Marine and Air Force.
Why didn't you say the Marines first? I'm a little confused by that. You should have said Marine commands and then Navy.
I would say that they're not the best units because I just don't think they are. But I really don't want you to disconnect me again. I only have so many crayons I can send you in a day.
Hey, the purple ones are my favorite. They come off a little grape flavored, so.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure we get you some scratch and sniff.
I want the box with the sharpener, though. So.
All right. So the other side of it is we have a full retail store. And that is what really sets us apart from most challenge coin companies. Most challenge coin companies and most custom companies in general, they're always fighting for that lead generation. They constantly had to get another customer every day in order to keep their doors open. We have a full retail store that runs semi-custom products. And because of that, that's a huge aspect of our business model. So I don't have to worry about every single day getting a brand new custom item because every single day, we have traffic that runs through to buy our semi-custom stuff. It's there. It's easy.
And when you say semi-custom, what do you mean?
So unlike the Marines, because they don't let you do this, the Navy allows you to wear belt buckles in the service, in uniform, that are customed to your rate.
Oh, yeah, that would never fly in the Marine Corps.
Oh, fuck yeah. No. So you just have to be careful what you do. We can push the envelope to some degree, but we can't push the envelope over. So like ATs, they're aviation electronic technicians, right? So we made a belt buckle for them, and they're geeks. They play D&D and some stuff like that. I got friends with them. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of them, but a lot of them are kind of geeky. So we made a belt buckle that's a circuit board. It's got their AT emblem on the top of it. It says aviation, electronics technician, because it has to. And then on the bottom of it, it says, I'm only here because you broke something. Right? So it's PC enough for you to wear. It's funny enough that you want to wear it. So it sells really well. We wanted to write, take it out and blow on it. Which is amazing.
Right.
But all I need is somebody to be like, yo, I can't wear this. I got a sexual harassment assault on me, or a case against me from Semio because I wore this in uniform and they read it, and it's on my belt. I'm like, look, it's for a Nintendo cartridge.
Right.
It's for a Nintendo cartridge. No, this doesn't work. Or our machinist repair belt buckle, it says machinist repair across the top. It's got all this cool gear shit. And across the bottom, it says size really does matter. So they work with tools. It's perfect. And it's just on the edge.
Right.
Of being acceptable to non-acceptable. So, and because of that, we sell a fuck ton of them every day. So it allows us to focus more on doing really, really cool custom stuff instead of cookie cutter custom stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're definitely going to work together on coming up something for the podcast. So I don't know what the hell that is, if it's a challenge coin. And I damn sure want to do shirts, because that's the number one thing people are hitting me up for right now. But so we're going to have to figure that out. But I got to tell the story. When you're telling your story about these slogans and stuff, when I was selling franchises, or part of a franchise sales team, basically, we worked in the marketing function, and one of the copywriters really wanted to do this postcard that was going to go out to the civilian masses, okay? And we were an $80 million company. And this was going to go out to 1,400 pharmacies and all the residents in those surrounding areas. So you're talking hundreds of thousands of people this postcard was going to go to. To capture people's attention, he wanted to put a picture of a guy looking right at you with the caption that says, "Turn your head and cough." Dude, that card still got passed around, and they were trying, and of course it never went out. But, right. And it was just one of those things. You're like, okay, everybody knows what you're trying to do, but yeah, that's not
right.
Yeah. So, dude, that's awesome, man. So, one is this the end game type thing for you? Is this what you're doing for the rest of your ride? Is making this stuff, or is there another adventure you're aiming towards? Question one, then I got to follow up.
I don't know. To be completely honest, I mean, we've only been doing it 2 years. Last year was our first full year, right? We grossed over $500,000. This year, we're on track to do a little bit better than our first year. Next year, we are going to absolutely kill it. So I think next year we'll do 750 to 800,000 easy all day. Last year, I really didn't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so for 3/4 of the year, I was active duty, and I was only using, a few hours a day to try and figure out what the fuck I was doing, and trying to balance, pitch and rudder, being a senior chief and a husband and dad and all the other crap, and then trying to figure out when I had time to, do anything for myself. It just wasn't enough. So now, I mean, this is all I do.
Right.
So,
well, I got to ask, and Ashley, I'm sorry for this. So is Pitch and Rudder now your second wife?
I can't say that because she sits right next to me. So I can't be like, look, I'm just going to spend time with Becky. We're going to do the because Ashley's always like a hand away. The crazy part about being retired and never having to leave the house to go to another job is
you put on an extra 50, 60 pounds?
I was already fat. So
okay. All right.
Is you just you end up finding out if you really actually like your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, we've been married 15 years, but do you even like me? the crap that goes through your head when you're sitting here staring at the same person every day. That and you should go to the store.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, man, how do people find you guys? If they want to make coins, get some of these crazy ass buckles, you know, all this stuff, how do people get in touch with you?
I mean, so we're really easy to get in touch with. You just look us up on Google, Pitch and Rudder. We have an Instagram account, Pinterest. I mean, pretty much anything that you type into for social media outside of Tumblr, and there's way too much porn on Tumblr for us to put a Pitch and Rudder account on there. You could find us.
Nice. Terry, I gotta say, man, it's been a lot of fun having you on here. Chuck made me laugh more, just so you know, but it's been a lot of fun, brother. I really appreciate you letting me be a part of the journey. Here's how I like to wrap up every show, and I stump a lot of people with this one, so get ready. But if you were going to leave the champions who listen to this show with a quote, a phrase, a saying, or a mantra, something they can take with them on their journey, especially if they're stacked up against it and trying to go through it, what would be that quote or phrase you would say? Remember this.
I have to say remember this first?
No, just give me a phrase. Oh, dude, Chuck nailed this. So
like, I would have fucking slapped the shit out of Chuck right now. And he could have been like, yo, fucking Donnie's going to ask you this shit. He doesn't want me to call you Danny. He's going to ask you this bullshit. And what you should have done, you should say this. I don't know. Like, for me, like, the way I live, like my personal code is pretty simple. It doesn't matter what anyone else fucking thinks. And don't compete with anybody in the room but you.
I love it. And just for you, we'll cut out the pause.
Hey, man, that works. Can you cut out the fact where you kicked me off the show first, too?
No, dude, that's going to be part of the show. Dude, thanks a lot for coming on and doing this. I really, really appreciate it.
Hey, no worries, man.
Thanks for listening to Donnie Success Champions podcast. If you'd like to hear more about our current guest today, or if you'd like to hear stories from our other guests on the show, come hang out with us on our website at successchampspodcast.com. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you need to reach out to me for any reason, you can catch me at Donnie@DonnieBoivin.com.